Hello guys, it's Wednesday at 1:06. Someone said 1:07, so we're right on time. When it comes to RS Cooking School, welcome back. I'm your teacher, Dawn. How have you guys been? It's been a couple of weeks. I feel a little rusty, but we're gonna get through this together. Summer's in full swing. July 4th was last week. Did you guys grill? Yes? Yes. Great. So to go alongside, what's better than fruit salad? And I just passed it. This is true. I just passed this guy in the hall carrying a watermelon, as one is has been doing. And he's like, what are you making? Some kind of tart? It was like an interesting guess anyway. But I was like, no, fruit salad. And he was like, that sounds boring. Don't even get me started. Anyway, we're not making boring fruit salad. There's a way to make it super delicious and very beautiful. And I'm going to show you how to do it. Ready? Yeah. Yay! Okay, ready. Let's review the rules real quick. Rule number 1, we wash our hands. 2, we play nice. If you don't have anything nice to say, you are now dismissed. This is a constructive teaching kitchen, and we aim to keep it that way. So we're here to have a good time, learn a little bit, or learn a lot of it, and then we're going to eat some fruit, okay? Okay, so my approach to fruit salad is a little bit different. Instead of mixing all of this stuff together, which would be delicious and pretty, I like to make monochromatic fruit salads. Now, I like monochromatic stuff in life. I like monochromatic outfits. I like monochromatic like rooms, shades and tones of green, that kind of thing. And I like monochromatic food. I think it's a really pretty way to showcase all the colors that exist in nature. So we're going to do a red one, a green one, an orange one. And we'll go over some cutting techniques, some ways to present these fruits a little bit differently than maybe you've seen before. We'll review simple syrup. And I don't know, let's just get started, okay? Let's start with I'm going to tell you just as we go things to keep in mind when you're shopping for fruit and how to treat it nicely, okay? What color do you want to start with? Red. Red, good, because watermelon's already cut. Okay, now I'll say this. I did, admittedly, order all this fruit to be delivered. Why? Because it's like 1,000,000 degrees outside and convenience time, et cetera, et cetera. So that's a great meal prep tip. If you live near a market that does delivery and it's within your means, use it. It makes everything so much easier and really cuts down on time. That said, when you're selecting produce, I really prefer to do it myself, to pick it up by hand, because as you guys will see, like these peaches aren't ripe. When you're doing this in your real life, you're going to pick like a very beautiful, sweet-smelling peach. It's just going to give, when you press your thumb into it, that's what you want. So when you're doing this kind of thing, selecting produce, whenever possible, go there and select it yourself. Otherwise, you might just have to let it ripen on the counter for a few days, but we don't have that kind of time. You know why? Because it's 1:10. Let's do this. Okay, reviewing cutting melons. You guys will see me do it with those two, but I'm going to show you with half a watermelon too. Okay, this is seedless. You should pick seedless for this because you won't waste any time picking out seeds. Okay, so pretend that this was a whole watermelon. The method is the same. I'm just going to cut off the top to expose it. And if I were doing the whole thing like this, you can see it'd be like this, right? So I'd create a flat bottom and a flat top. Just keeps it more stable. But same method applies, okay? And I'll show you how to do it with the other honeydew and the cantaloupe. I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to line it up just inside the rind. Same thing goes for an orange as well. Just inside that pith. And you follow the shape of the fruit all the way down. Now, each time I step back up, I want my knife, I want the edge of it where it makes contact to be right behind that rind line, right? But it's not that big of a deal. If you don't quite make it, you can always go back and clean it up, which I would say is better than taking off too much and losing a ton of the juicy flesh. Anybody pickling watermelon rind out there? I've done it once, but then I didn't eat it. So suggestions on suggestions on what to do with pickled watermelon rind. Like, is it just for snack? I guess Bloody Mary, maybe?
I saw it at the farmer's market the other day.
Rebecca saw it at the farmer's market, already pickled?
Yeah.
Huh.
I was confused by it.
Guys, let us know. Okay, I don't really care how you cut this, but I also like to think of fruit salads less as like a fork in mouth experience. And you can think about it as more of a knife and fork kind of thing. Make it pretty. I'm just going to cut some bigger pieces. But this is not intended to be fussy. I would say keep in mind what else is going in the fruit salad. We're going to put some smaller stuff in there, so I might actually go back and cut this into smaller pieces. The nice thing about watermelon is like you can get a lot of uses out of it. So this wasn't even a great big one, but I'll probably get, you know, I could make this whole thing again, but this is a lot and I've got other fruit to add. So I wouldn't plan on using the whole thing, especially if you're going to add other stuff. Other tip, always taste it. So we're going to sweeten these a little bit just with a little bit of simple syrup. It helps kind of even things out. Sometimes you get like a great watermelon, but a medium okay plum. This is a way to use up all of this stuff, and the simple syrup will kind of balance it out, offer a little bit more sweetness if some of the fruit needs it. But this is pretty good, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Now I've got some plums, some plum cots, which are like another crazy hybrid, part apricot, part plum. Some cherries and some strawberries for the red one. But I feel like that's kind of a good amount of watermelon. What do you guys think? Questions, comments, concerns? We're making fruit salad today, 3 different colors. It's summer. Also, don't think of fruit salad just as like a filler. Rebecca was sharing that she and her husband have been, like someone works the grill and somebody makes a fruit salad. Beautiful dinner on a summer night. And also you can take fruit salad savory. Add some salty cheese like parm or feta, some red pepper flakes, some fresh herbs, and you have this like really interesting, slightly sweet salad, which is great alongside more robust grilled meats. Okay, we got our watermelon. Let's check on some stone fruit, our plums. Now, stone fruit we've talked about a little bit. I'm going to switch to this smaller knife just because it's a little bit easier to deal with. Just kind of like an avocado. Did you see me go around that pit? This guy's looking a little funky inside, but... So see how kind of my knife stays in the same spot, and then you just twist. But look how pretty that is in there. Twist. Now, some, like peaches especially, will be labeled free stone, and that means the pit is free. The stone is free, so it'll come out really easily. But some of these guys that aren't, I just go back and kind of quarter the 1/2, and then you should pretty easily be able to kind of twist it out. Make sense? Good. It's mellow in here today.
Question.
Question.
I guess we'll get to this about peaches too, but is there a benefit of keeping the skin on? Is it just personal preference for like peaches, plums, in particular, I guess, nectarines, the stone fruits?
Rebecca's question, is there a benefit to keeping the skin on? I'm going to say no, personal preference.
It's okay to eat.
It's definitely okay to eat. I would say I have the hardest time with peaches. That fuzz is like semi-unappealing, but if you give them a good scrub, it'll come off. But if you're funny about it, I mean, nectarines offer a lot of similar appeal without the fuzz. Any other questions in the room or on the internet?
No questions, but I'm asking everyone what their favorite fruits to put in the fruit salad are, and Nancy says she loves pineapple.
Ooh, pineapple, good one. Oft overlooked, I feel like. Also because pineapple is tropical, so like it's not growing around here, obviously. Another great tip, pick fruits that are in season in your area, which is why I think summertime is like when we usually eat fruit salad, because most of the country has local fruit available then.
You have a great video on pineapple cutting.
Oh yeah, there's a great video on how to cut a pineapple on realsimple.com. Brooke is gonna drop the link. Okay, cherries. You could use a cherry pitter. I am gonna show you option number 2, which is exactly the same as I did the plum. You know, cherries are stone fruits, right? They have pits. So it takes a little while, but I'm just gonna have some of these. But the pits pop right out. Question from Rebecca in the room.
Would it be weird to do cherries the way that you pit an olive? Would it work? the same way?
Rebecca asked, would it be weird to do cherries the way I put an olive? I'm gonna say, only because I'm wearing a white shirt, yes. Cherry juice stains, sort of in the same vein as beets. So it just gets like a little bit risky. If you have a smock or, you know, a dedicated long sleeve shirt you can put on over whatever you're wearing to put the cherries, do that. There's a famous picture of my friend Charlene in a cherry pitting outfit, and there's like a shirt over here, 2 aprons wrapped around, so you gotta be careful.
Question from the internet.
Internet, come.
Who wants to know how long the fruit will keep with the simple syrup on it in the fridge?
A couple of days. Question is, how long will the fruit last with the simple syrup on it in the fridge? You'll start to see the fruit soften. It will continue to soften as it sits in the simple syrup. But I say you've got a good 2-3 days before it starts to kind of go beyond soft and tender and get a little like mouchade, if you know what I mean. So I think 2-3 days. But this is a great thing. You could prep all your fruit. Say you're making this ahead of time for a barbecue, potluck, even just for snacking on through the week, like after school snack, that kind of thing. Cut up all your fruit day ahead, and then morning of, toss it in the simple syrup. That's sort of what I would do. Because I also don't want to add so much simple syrup that we lose the flavor of the fruit itself. We just want to kind of wake it up a little bit. Okay, we got plums, we got watermelon, we've got cherries, and then a little bit of strawberry. Now, strawberries and all berries, I would say, don't rinse them until you're ready to use them. Berries can be really delicate, so you just want to give them a rinse, lay them out in a single layer on like a paper towel lined plate or baking sheet, and keep them that way. But berries especially, try and, I would say, buy them and process them as close to eating as possible. Question from the front row.
Okay, so the way that you're hulling strawberries right now,
Yes.
would you suggest this is the best way to hull strawberries? Have you tried the straw method? Like
Got it. So Rebecca asked about hulling strawberries. As you can see, I'm like not really even thinking about this. I'm just taking off the top. I would say that's the easiest, fastest way. Do you lose a little bit of flesh? Yeah. Do I care in this scenario? No. So you gotta kind of like pick your battles. I'm not gonna fuss over this. The straw method, yeah, it works. I would say, do you need to like occupy an 8-year-old for 30 to 45 minutes? Let them do it. If you just wanna get this done, do it this way, okay? I'll show you like the right way that they teach you in culinary school. Ready? Okay. This works for tomatoes, anything with like a top or a hull that you wanna take out, but leave as much flesh behind, okay? So like give the hair a little bit of a zhuzh. Spike it up. Choke up on the knife so you've just got about like half to a quarter inch exposed there. Tip goes in, and then you just rotated it around. Rotate it around, okay, see? So you lose way less. But like it takes a minute. Again, if you have maybe an older kid who you're comfortable giving a knife to, let them do it. Otherwise, just chop it off. But the move is, I'll show you one more time. I would say the move is not straight across. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm kind of going like down and then back up, and I'm kind of pulling the top out. Yes, Rebecca, question.
What kind of knife would you suggest to do that with? Because that one's a little bit bigger than a paring knife.
I would still call this a paring knife, but smaller. Remember, use a knife the right knife for the right job. So this is a small job, right? Small surface area, small thing that I'm working with, so a small knife. Watermelon, big surface area, big thing, big knife. Make sense?
Yes.
Question from the internet.
Question for the internet.
Anna wants to know if you replace simple syrup with lemon or lemon juice, would that make it last any longer, or would it be the same?
Same. The question is, if you replace the simple syrup with lemon juice, would it make it last longer? In fact, I would say lemon juice acid will make it last less long. Whew, say that many times. Because acid breaks things down. So acid will prevent, like lemon juice will prevent oxidation, but again, it's a short window. It'll preserve something for like an hour. It's still going to oxidize over time. So I would say lemon juice, not the best bet. And the simple syrup, it's more about flavor than it is about preservation. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes, from the room. Okay, now, let's go ahead and give this a little syrupy moment because I want you guys to see this. So, I made simple syrup. Do you guys remember when we did that a couple of weeks ago? Equal
Yes.
parts sugar and water. Now, could you change this up and make a honey syrup? Yes, same deal, equal amount honey and water. Honey is going to be way more assertive tasting than white sugar and water, but if you're trying to avoid refined sugar, it's a good option, okay? And so I'm just going to drizzle this over. Now, one thing that could be cool, which I think I might do actually, is I'm going to add a little red pepper flake to this. Just to like take it savory, to try something new. If you have Aleppo pepper, that could be cool, but like it just kind of makes it a little more interesting. I might also add feta to this. We were talking about adding salty cheeses and stuff. Yeah, that would be great. Also a little flaky salt. That sounds great. Okay, red fruit salad. Questions?
If you wanted to make this ahead of time for like a party,
Yeah.
how long, like, could you make it, or how long would it last?
Okay, question is, could you make it ahead? I would. You can cut the fruit day before, maybe wrap it in plastic, stick it in the fridge, and then I would just kind of dress it an hour before, or even that morning. But also, like, don't worry about it. It's just fruit. It's not gonna get yuck. It's not gonna go bad, right? Fruit lives outside, so you don't have to worry about it the way you worry about like meats and that kind of thing. I think this looks really nice. Do you guys? I'm gonna add one more cherry.
It's gorgeous.
Gorge. Okay, next. Oh, the other thing is, guys, don't let me be the boss of you. Choose whatever fruits you like. If you want to do 2 colors, do it. But like any red fruits you come across, go for it. Okay, raspberries would be pretty. Even blackberries will pick up sort of like the dark tones in the cherries. Okay? What color are we going to do next? Maybe orange, right? Okay. Let's review this melon. Same deal. This, again, not the best melon, but it's okay. Top comes off. Bottom comes off. Flat, flat. Doesn't roll around, right? Just like before, we're going to follow the curve of the fruit. The cantaloupe is easy because you can really see the difference between the orange and the green. Same with the watermelon. You don't have to do this fast. I'm just doing this fast because I'm at work. And sometimes I'm too busy doing my job to get my work done. I know some of you know what I mean. Okay, going into the compost. Trash bowl. I got both. Okay, same deal. We're going to go halvesies. Scoop out the seeds. Orange fruits are pretty easy. I feel like there's a lot of them. Oranges, peaches, nectarines, apricots, cantaloupe. We've got all these other gorgeous melons that are becoming more readily available. I had the sun-kissed melon over the weekend. Delish. Cantaloupe, I feel like, can also be kind of polarizing. People say they don't like it. I honestly think because they haven't had good cantaloupe. The pre-cut stuff, remember, it's kind of like the pre-cut, it's kind of like the diced tomatoes. Remember we've talked about how diced tomatoes are less nice generally than the whole peeled tomatoes because they're the imperfect ones. Same kind of goes. So I feel like people who don't like cantaloupe, they've had it in fruit salad already cut up. It's like usually not so good. Cantaloupe, like all fruit, should be heavy for its size, and it should smell like a cantaloupe, like floral, even that candy scented. What's a cantaloupe candy? Does Starburst make a cantaloupe?
I don't think anyone does.
But I've smelled it. I mean, it should smell sweet and floral and delicious. No, this room is like, nope, you're making stuff up. Very possible.
How in the world do you pick a ripe cantaloupe and honeydew melon?
Okay, so same deal. So it's ripe,
Did you already go really?
well, kind of, but ripe melons should be heavy for their size. They should smell sweet and delicious, like whatever it is. And one thing you want to look for is that the stem end, like where it came off of the vine, should be, well, I took that off and I cut that off. It should look like it came easily off. Like you don't want to see this nubbin still on there, right? Because that means it was pulled too soon before it was ripe. Does that make sense? Same thing with an avocado. You want to see that little pit there. Is that helpful?
Yes.
Okay. This is green. We're not ready for that. Ready to review orange. Same thing. Oh, this is a cara cara. Okay, we've got the really pretty pink flesh. Same. Now, I might go paring knife for this one generally, but I'm feeling bold. But I'm going to show you two different ways to go about this. One, you can cut this into wheels, in which case you could skip this part and just peel it with your fingers if that part makes you nervous. And then you can just do this. Cut it crosswise, very pretty. Okay, that's one. I might have selected like a navel orange if I were to do this again. Where'd my other guy go? I only have one? Oh no, it's here. Okay. Top, bottom, stand it up straight. As you can see, it's like not citrus season. These are less beautiful. They're like kind of drying out. This is probably from wintertime in Florida or California or Mexico, where so much of our citrus comes from. But don't worry about it. Question from the internet.
Okay, so Donna wants to know if you can make a simple syrup with stevia.
Can you make a simple syrup with stevia? I've never tried. I really don't like the flavor of stevia. I think it has like a pretty potent aftertaste, but I think they do, but personal preference. If stevia is your jam, I mean, they say you can bake with it like sugar, right? So my guess is yes, you could. I might use agave instead. Again, I think it has a more neutral sweetness and you don't get that aftertaste, but I am not hip to the like glycemic numbers and stuff. So if stevia is your only option, give it a try. Also, if you're not sure about some of these things, make a really small quantity. So I would say put like 2 tablespoons of stevia and 2 tablespoons of water in a little bowl and stick it in the microwave. And then you can see, versus like I made a whole cup's worth of stevia simple syrup and it's crazy. Donna, let us know how it goes. Let me show you guys this other method. So first cara cara, I did pinwheels, right? Otherwise, you can do segments. This is what we mean. See the membranes here? Everybody see? See? Instagram sees? Yeah? Okay. So you go one side, and then you go the other side. And then you get segments. Okay? And then you just go all the way around. So it just gives you some options. I am not bothered by these membranes, so I feel like it's more of a food styling / aesthetic choice if you want to do this. Totally up to you. It's kind of fun, satisfying. I would say if you're going to do this, you do lose a decent amount of the flesh, but that's okay. Just use the juice, okay? That goes for anything you're segmenting. Grapefruit, orange, even like lemon and lime. If you're not sure where you want to just like squeeze it into a bowl next to you, you can use it for salad dressing, cocktails, drink it, whatever. We got some melon, we got some caracaras. Let's just chop this guy, get it in. Mango. Many people want to know how to cut a mango. Ready? Again, this isn't super right because I didn't pick it out myself, but the principles are the same, okay? So mangoes have like a wide side and a narrow side, right? You see? Wide, narrow, wide, narrow. Okay, so the pit is like a blade. It looks like kind of an arrowhead. And he's inside. So he's going to always run, the pit's always going to run parallel to the wide side. Making sense? Furrowed brows, but they're getting it. Okay, here, let's wipe this down too. Okay, so let's see. Narrow side is toward me. Okay, so my wide side, perpendicular. Okay, so and you just want to kind of come down alongside the pit, and then you can see it. See, I hit it. That's not a big deal. Okay, so the pit's right in the middle there, and then we're just going to go down along the other side. And then it's sort of this oblong shape. And when you do this, this is one of those things that as soon as you do it, you'll be like, oh, this is what she means. It's pretty hard to get everything off the pit. It's not loose the way like a peach is. You just kind of like run into it, but that flesh is pretty sticky against it. Once you get here, just like give it to your friend, and they can chew on it, or like chef snack, and then you can chew all the flesh off the pit, okay? Okay. So then you get here, and you have a couple of options. For these pieces, I usually just back to the paring knife and take the skin off like that. See? And just, it's like peeling an apple. Now, when the mangoes are ripe, this will be pretty soft, so just be careful, go slow.
Question from the Facebook group.
Yay, Facebook group! How you guys doing?
Jan wants to know, how can you tell when a mango's ripe?
Okay, Jan wants to know, how can you tell when a mango's ripe? Mango will be largely determined by feel, and it'll give. Sort of similarly to I'm gonna say avocado, because their skins are thicker than like a peach, but it should just give when you press on it. Not too easily, because then it's past its prime. Oftentimes too, if it's mushy, it'll still taste great, but it'll be really hard to carve. So you can just kind of like open it up and get your face in there. So a couple of options. I'm gonna show you the dice. Similar to an avocado, I'm going long slices, coming back perpendicular, making some diamonds, and then open the church and see all the people. You remember that one?
You do that again.
With this one? Can I do it again? Do I have another mango? No. Okay, let's just quickly get rid of this. Okay, ready? Slicing. Oh, this mango is not great, you guys. Don't put it in your hand like I just did. Keep it on the board, okay? Perpendicular to those first cuts. Here's the church. Here's the steeple. Open the doors and see all the people. This is easier when the mango is more ripe, okay? And then you can just come back with your small knife and cut them away from the skin. Make sense?
Yes.
Yay! Okay, or you can just slice it. So I would always recommend cutting the sides off versus trying to peel it in your hands and then cutting it, because it just gets really slippery once you've taken those off, taken off the skin. Any other questions for this moment?
Describe the glass hack with the mango. Do you think it's just
Rebecca's asking
party
about
trick?
a glass hack. I don't even know what that is, and I'm going to say it's a party trick. You guys, you know this is my opinion. And may the internet goddesses not strike me down. I think you need knives, a medium pot, a big pot, and a cast iron skillet. Like, I'm not into gadgets. I'm not into the things in the Sky Mall catalog. Like generally, they're just clutter. And if you're serious about like cooking and getting to know your food and like providing, skip the gadgets, learn how to use your knife. And that is my PSA for today, okay? Apricots. Are you guys mad now? Okay, apricots, same way as the plum. Remember, these are all stone fruits. Stone fruit. Lots of you haven't had apricots, I'm learning. You've only had them dried. I encourage you to try the fresh ones. Any questions about apricots?
No questions, but Kimberly says after learning your mango cutting hack, she doesn't have to buy frozen anymore for fear of cutting it, and she's really excited.
Good. That said, Kimberly's excited she doesn't have to buy frozen mango. I will say, frozen fruit is great to keep on hand, especially in the wintertime. I always have frozen berries in my freezer. Remember, frozen fruit and vegetables are picked at the peak of freshness. So if you're out of season, they're still in season. So it's good to be able to know how to use both. Peach, one more thing. Again, this is not super ripe, but we're going to see what we can get out of this. Nope, we're not going to do that. Let me show you another way how to treat peaches when you can't get the pit out. I mean, slicing can be really pretty. And you just come at it sort of at an angle, sort of the way you would an apple, like a box cut. But let your peaches get ripe on the counter. That's my advice. Buy them in advance of when you want to use them. Peaches, same thing, should smell amazing, and they should give slightly when you press on them. Well, this one's better, I can tell. I will say fruit salad, despite how simple it seems, does require a little bit of thinking about it in advance, just so you can make sure if you order stuff or you pick it up that you have a couple of days for it to ripen if need be. Okay, orange, very pretty. Do you guys agree?
Looks great.
Looks great, okay. And then I'm just gonna hit it with a little simple syrup. Same thing. This one I might, sometimes there's lemons behind me. I might hit this one with a little lemon juice just to change it up. Or a little squeeze of that orange juice, could be cool, okay? We got an orange one, we got a red one. Right now, red is still my fave. Oh, so pretty. Green fruit salad, did you ever even consider it? I know, me neither. Okay, green fruits, some are obvious. Granny Smith apples, some kiwis, limes for flavor and zest. They're gonna give it really great aroma. Green grapes, I'll show you a cool thing to do with them. And cucumber. I don't know if cucumbers are technically a fruit. Rebecca took a gasp.
Literally had this debate last night. They look like melons.
Well, I think they might be related to melons.
They're in the same family as melons.
Yes, so maybe they are a fruit. Anyway, I like to add a little something like super crunchy and fresh, like cucumbers, to my fruit salads. Someone mentioned in our Facebook group, we have this gorgeous salad, and I think it's our July issue. It's cucumber and melon and feta with like olive oil, whatever. It's so fresh, it's so delicious. Have it alongside either like crusty bread if you want something really light, or serve it alongside pork tenderloin or something. So I was like, I don't know, is that really good? It's so, so good. So don't be afraid to take the fruit savory or the vegetables a little bit sweeter. Okay, you do not have to do this, but I just want to show you something cool with apple. Apples have that beautiful star shape in the middle. This guy might be too wide to get it, but if you have a mandolin, yeah, it's a little too wide, so we'll abandon this plan. Use the mandolin for your cucumber. Again, you can slice it, but this is just a really fast way to make it happen. And just be really careful when you get to, am I bleeding? No, it's red pepper flake. Woo! but be careful. Don't risk it. It's not worth it. But I do like a mandolin for raw shaved salads in the summer, cucumbers, zucchini, beets, even radishes. All that stuff, drizzle it with olive oil, season with salt and pepper, and you have like a gorgeous no-cook salad. I'm gonna do 3 because I like them. Hey, do you guys know who wrote the book on cucumbers? I did. If you guys aren't familiar with Short Stack, it's a great series of single ingredient cookbooks. I wrote one that came out last year on cucumbers. You should go buy it, it's great. Lots of recipes like this, simple, easy, approachable.
We have a link on the site about it.
Link on the site. Okay, cucumbers down. Now, I just want to show you this apple thing I was talking about. It's a little wide for the mandolin, but whenever I'm adding apples to fruit salad, I like to go crosswise. So you see this really pretty star pattern. And then it doesn't have that many seeds. Despite the fact that we don't eat the apple core, except for Rebecca, who I think basically eats the apple core, you can just kind of pop them out. It's like easier than a lemon. So I like to do it this way versus cubes. I think that is like really old school and it kind of bums me out. So generally I would say no apples in fruit salad, but these, especially if you douse them with the simple syrup, will get soft and tender. Tender, I'd say, not soft, and make a really nice addition. Questions about cucumbers, about apples, about green fruits?
Well, first I Googled it, and a cucumber, according to Google, is a fruit.
Cucumber's a fruit,
And
according to the internet.
Crystal wants to know, do you use the simple syrup when it's warm or cool on the salad? Does it matter?
Good question. Do you use the simple syrup warm or cool? Generally cool. Simple syrup's one of those things that like I make in advance and I just keep in my fridge. So it's usually cold. If you wanted, for whatever reason, to like soften the fruit a little bit, you could use it warm. It'll break down a little bit faster. It'll help the fruit break down a little bit faster. So I would say make simple syrup like tonight and just keep it in the fridge. I think you'll find more uses for it than you might think. Fresh fruit sodas, also on realsimple.com. Sweetening tea or coffee, especially iced coffee. Okay, grapes. Don't just throw the grapes in the fruit salad. I mean, how much time have you spent like chasing grapes around your plate? I would have them. That's the easiest way to go about it. Or if you really have a lot of time on your hands, which I know none of you do, you could slice it, which looks really pretty. But I would recommend having. Seedless. Go seedless. Any questions? No? You guys?
Seedless grapes.
What, Rebecca?
Seedless grapes.
Questions about seedless grapes? Or questions about anything?
I don't have any questions right now.
Okay, great.
Everyone's just mesmerized.
Okay, good. That one didn't cut so well. Another big tip on fruit prep. Phil's either getting tired or artsy. Serrated knife is a great one to use for soft fruits in the summer. Just the same way I recommend using them for slicing tomatoes. Cut through the thin skin. Helpful for this stuff as well. And I'm just going to throw these in. I know I said don't use them whole, but guess what? We've got to get this show on the road. Okay, kiwis. Now, I think I mentioned this before. I went to high school with these gals who would just eat the kiwi like this. Ooh, it gives me the shivers. So I prefer to peel. Kiwis are ones that I tend to do in hand versus on the board. This is an area where I like to use my Y peeler because I think they're the skin is sturdy enough that the Y peeler cuts through it and you lose less flesh. This is satisfying though. I think Do you guys remember that scene in Sleepless in Seattle where Tom Hanks is describing his wife who passed away and how she could peel an apple in one long curly strip, and then like they cut to Meg Ryan and she's doing it. So good. Anyway. Tom, Meg, are you watching? I'm the captain now. Okay, kiwi goes down. Let's do that again. Should we try and do it one curly strip? Now I'm just like stalling because I don't want to do my other work. This is a good party trick. Can I do it? And it's the same thing. Oh, rats. But just like when you're peeling the stuff standing up, you gotta watch your knife. It's the same way it's kind of the same trick as when you wanna pour wine, tea, whatever, from really high up. You wanna watch where it's landing, not where it's coming from. Does that make sense? So you wanna watch the knife actually, not the fruit. Are kiwis the most underrated pretty fruit out there?
I think so.
I'm gonna say yes. They're gorge. Okay. What else is gonna go in here? Cantaloupe, and then we're gonna get out.
What's peak season for a kiwi?
Peak season for a kiwi, great question. I mean, they don't grow locally here in the Northeast, as far as I know. I guess I've always thought kiwi was like a tropical fruit. Brooke, check the internet. Did you guys, I don't know if this happened to you guys, but anytime I had a question, my mom would be like, look it up. And I would have to go to the encyclopedia. I remember asking about Santa Claus, and she was like, why don't you look it up?
Okay.
Whoa.
Peak season for kiwis is during winter and early spring, and kiwi berries reach their peak in the fall, and they're grown mostly in California and New Zealand, according to Google.
Oh, right, kiwi. Huh, duh. New Zealand. That's why they call them kiwis, which is it bad? Like, are we not supposed to say it? Anyway, okay, one more time. Cantaloupe, let's review, and then we're going to finish it with the lime juice. Okay, flat. Flat. Okay. Coming around again. Okay, same thing. Are you guys going to try this at home?
Yes.
Great.
Tonight.
Honeydew, same. You guys are looking for the same things. It should smell floral and amazing. It should be heavy for its size, like all your fruits. Heavy for its size, that indicates a good amount of like water and juice content, right? Tessa out, okay.
Phone died.
Oh, phone died, okay. So long.
It's okay, we still have this.
Hi guys. For those of you who are still with us, God bless, you have that little work to do. Okay, seeds are out. Honeydew, love it or hate it? I love it. But I feel like it gets the same kind of rap as the cantaloupe.
I feel like it's because it's always a seasonal fruit, like O'Charlie's and those kind of places. So O'Charlie's love you. And same with like squash. You know, squash and peas. Always the seasonal side.
Oh, interesting, interesting.
Even when it's not seasonal.
That is a good, that's a very good point. Oh, Charlie's, what's up with that?
I don't know if it's O'Charlie's.
What is O'Charlie's?
It could be Applebee's.
Oh, okay, yeah, got it. Okay, we got green. We've got red. We've got orange. Yeah, see how these apples are oxidizing? In the future, I would maybe do those last. Now I'm just gonna like zhuzh them in food style. Okay. A little simple syrup, and I'm gonna hit this one with lime zest and lime juice. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, squeezing a lime if you don't have a citrus reamer. Some of them you can just go for it. Otherwise, you put your fork in here, okay, like this, and then you squeeze the lime you turn it around the fork. Do you guys see that? Again. Okay, and this goes for any citrus, but especially lemons and limes. Okay, fork goes in like this, and you squeeze and twist, and you'll see the juice coming out. This was not the juiciest lime, but I still am getting a decent amount of juice, and it smells really good. So I think we'll get some nice aromas from the zest. Oh, I'm gonna go to the microplane drawer. I knew they were there. It only took me like 8 months to remember that. Okay, and then we're just gonna do some zest over top.
John?
Yes, question from the room.
Yes, question from the room. If you put citrus juice in your simple syrup, would it help prevent oxidization?
Good question. If you put citrus juice in your simple syrup, would it help prevent oxidation?
Oxidation.
I think is, well, I don't know. Truthfully, I'm not sure. But I think, I'm trying to like do science in my head. Like doing math in your head, it's not the same thing. I feel like the simple syrup is going to help prevent oxidation because it's creating a barrier for the oxygen. I don't see why, like I think it couldn't hurt is my answer. Truthfully, don't know. What we should do is a side-by-side, which is in real life the only way to really be sure. So I think we should add we'll add some lemon juice to this. We'll cut an apple. We'll do some with simple syrup, and we'll do some with simple syrup plus lemon. Get back to you guys. Okay, any questions? I think these look pretty good. Okay, guys, this is a new way to fruit salad. By all means, the bottom line is pick the best fruit that you can in season, smell it, feel it. But that's the real secret to fruit salad, is just picking the best fruit that you can. Otherwise, pick fruits that you like. Try plating them monochromatically. It's very pretty. It's a little more sophisticated, I think. We'll be back in a couple weeks with another lesson. Otherwise, join the Facebook group. We're there to support one another, get you guys cooking, exercise those cooking muscles. I'm checking in every day, so if you have specific questions, shout me out and let me know, okay? Have a great week. Make some fruit salad, grill something, cook anything. Let us know. Tag at RS Cooking School. Follow along at RS Cooking School. We're doing some cool stuff, okay? So long.